New York Mets are still in the mix for these two free agents, guys, and these two free agents are Michael Lorenzen and JD Martinez. Yes, it is surprising news, but we're going to get into it. Definitely, this is All Things Mets, where you your latest Mets media. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into today's video, and that is going to be on the two free agents, and according to Will Salmon, according to John Heyman as well, the Mets are still in the mix for free agents Michael Lorenzen and JD Martinez, which is big news because obviously we know that the Mets are in spring training right now. MLB is in spring training, and it just shows that the market is not what Michael Lorenzen and JD Martinez thought it was going to be. Now, Michael Lorenzen is a starting pitcher, and JD Martinez is a DH, a guy that can definitely is a good bat. So why aren't these guys signed yet? That is the question. I really don't exactly know why Michael Lorenzen hasn't signed. I understand JD Martinez being older. He's 36 years old. But why wouldn't you want to sign a guy that can hit you over 30 home runs? Because JD Martinez, guys, is 36 years old, right? But in 2023, he had 33 home runs. He had a 271 batting average. He hit 117 hits. He had 103 RBIs. Why wouldn't you want that on the team? When it comes to the Mets, we know that the Mets need that type of bat. They've been needing that type of bat for years. And we know that the Mets also, they want to play the young kids. They want to give, guys like Mark Vientos a real chance. But JD Martinez, the fact that they're still in the mix for this guy shows that his market is not what he thought it was going to be. So JD Martinez is a Scott Boras client, so we know how Scott Boras is, and they're going to hold out for the money. They're going to hold out for whatever they're going to hold out for. But JD Martinez, if you don't know him, he's a 6-time All-Star. He's a 2018 World Series champion. He's a 3-time Silver Slugger. Why wouldn't you want this guy on the team, right? Like I said, he's 36 years old, so he's older, right? It makes sense why maybe his market isn't what he thought it was. I don't think he's going to get the contract that Jorge Soler got for the Giants. So I don't think he's going to get that, but I think this guy is a very talented bat still. I think he still has the bat speed. I think this guy is still talented. I think this guy can still drastically change a big league lineup. So when it comes to the Mets, we know that the lineup, it's not the best. Right now, it's Mark Vientos, Ajimon Choi, DJ Stewart, guys like that could be potentially your DH. Now, we know that David Stearns wants to play the young kids. Mark Vientos, he hasn't really got that, that consistent chance that he thought he was going to get, in the majors. And, last year, he didn't really get that with Buck Showalter, with Billy Epler. So 2024, David Stearns, all about playing the young kids. So Mark Vientos, he's probably going to get that shot, right? You would think. But it seems that the Mets are still in the mix for this guy, JD Martinez. So maybe, just maybe, Mark Vientos won't be the DH for the New York Mets in 2024. And that is really crazy to say because of, what David Stearns and the Mets are preaching right now. And that is what they want to give the young guys a real chance. They want to see what they have in these young guys rather than, going after a big free agent like a JD Martinez. But the fact that they're still in the mix for this guy is huge. It's huge because this guy, like I said, he can change the lineup drastically. Imagine a lineup with JD Martinez, with Francisco Alvarez, with Pete Alonso, with Francisco Lindor, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, guys like that. Personally, JD Martinez, a guy that can hit you over 30 home runs, why wouldn't you want this guy on the team? A 271 batting average, I'll take it. I think that the Mets should take it too. This guy is a power bat. He's a bat that you need in the lineup. He's a bat that can drastically change your lineup. Okay, to be fair to Mark Vientos, he hasn't got a consistent real chance in the major leagues, right? But JD Martinez is already a proven DH. So why wouldn't you want this guy in your lineup behind an Alonso, to protect Alonso? Why wouldn't you want this guy behind Alonso? Because JD Martinez, he's a talented bat. He still has the bat speed. Yes, he's older, but you can, if his price goes down, which I think it will, I definitely think this price will go down for JD Martinez. We're getting closer to opening day. It is spring training still. So they haven't signed yet. These guys still haven't signed. And JD Martinez, he's a guy that can hit you over 30 home runs, and he's a guy that can change that lineup for the Mets drastically. And if the Mets want to be competitive, if the Mets want to be better, if the Mets want a better lineup when it comes to, head-to-head matchups, just imagine having JD Martinez in that lineup rather than having Mark Vientos. Now, like I said, Mark Vientos didn't get a consistent chance, in 2023, but he's probably going to get a consistent chance in 2024. So, I don't know. When it comes to the Mets, I think that the Mets should go for JD Martinez. I think that the Mets should sign JD Martinez, because if his price goes down drastically, you can get this guy for a 2-year contract and give him a 1-year after opt-out. That's all you have to do. And maybe his price goes down, a lot, and you get this guy and you put him in the lineup and it helps out the lineup, and maybe, this lineup looks a little more scarier than it would look with just Mark Vientos. Now, like I said, he's a proven DH. I've been saying that JD Martinez should sign with the Mets for some time. I've been saying that for years, JD Martinez should be the DH. The Dodgers grabbed him last year, okay? But this year, it doesn't look like the Dodgers are going to grab him this year, because they got Teoscar Hernandez. They got all their hitters. They got Shohei Ohtani. They got a whole bunch of people. They don't need JD Martinez. So the Mets, I think personally, they should go for this guy, because he's going to change your lineup drastically. Because this guy he still has the bat speed. He still has the power. And the Mets need that big bat in that lineup to help out Alonso, to help out the guys. And a veteran like that doesn't hurt the lineup, I think if Mark Vientos, I think he could take a step back. I think Mark Vientos should take a step back and maybe get traded or something like that, or maybe play next year, or be on the bench. Maybe Mark Vientos could be on the bench. But if you had the option of having JD Martinez or Mark Vientos, I would go for, JD Martinez. So that's one free agent. And then we have another free agent, and that is Michael Lorenzen, guys, a starting pitcher, 32-year-old, a guy, definitely that went 9-9 in 2023, had a 4.1 ERA, guys, pitched in 29 games, so it shows that he's durable, a guy, and he shows that he's dependable. So Michael Lorenzen, a guy that, he's not a hard thrower, but definitely he can pitch. 4.18 ERA, that's not that bad when you compare it to a guy like Sean Manaea, who has like a 4.30. So I like Michael Lorenzen's stuff. I think this guy is still talented. I think this guy, 32 years old, he's not the youngest and he's not the oldest. But why wouldn't you want this guy in your rotation? Because when it comes to pitching, guys, when it really comes to pitching is very, very important. And if you get a guy like Michael Lorenzen, that definitely will help out your rotation, because you don't know what these injuries, you don't know how many injuries are going to happen in spring training. The Mets already lost Senga for a little bit, so it just makes sense to get a guy like a Michael Lorenzen, maybe just for depth, or maybe, you can get him on a 1-year contract like you got a Luis Severino, maybe a low risk, high reward. But when it comes to the Mets, they need a guy like this. The Mets need some type of, guy like this in the rotation. And, I think if they sign him, he'll slide in the rotation right away, especially with Senga's injury. It just makes sense. Tyler McGill also is having a good spring, and good for him. But I think that the Mets being in the mix for Lorenzen still, it shows that the Mets, they're not just saying that they're not going to sign anybody. Now, I know, I get it. The luxury tax, Steve Cohen, he doesn't want to pay a lot of money. Obviously, we know that the Mets have the most money paid in the offseason. We know that. And I get that. Maybe you don't want to go above, even more crazy above the luxury Cohen tax, or whatever you want to call it, because obviously it comes with penalties. But Michael Lorenzen, JD Martinez, these guys are free agents that you should be interested in. Like JD Martinez definitely should not be out there. He should not still be out there able to get. But the fact that he's still out there shows that his market is not what he thought it was supposed to be. So Michael Lorenzen, JD Martinez, if you ask me, who would I go for when it comes to a free agent? From a Michael Lorenzen or JD Martinez, I think that the Mets should go after JD Martinez, because he can drastically change your lineup. Now, I get pitching is important, but I think that the lineup is more important in 2024. And just imagine a lineup with JD Martinez, with Francisco Alvarez, with Pete Alonso. That's a nice lineup right there. Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Starlin Marte, guys like that, Harrison Bader. Like, these are guys that, that's a lineup that I would like to see personally better than, a lineup with just Mark Vientos in it. So when it comes to the Mets, I definitely think this is the way to go. If this guy is still on the market, go for JD Martinez. Go get him. Go get JD Martinez, guys. At the end of the day, the Mets should go get him. That's my plain and simple opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys really think that they should go after Michael Lorenzen, or do you guys think that they should go after JD Martinez? Because I definitely feel personally JD Martinez is going to help out this team drastically. Now, that is my take on that. Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is All Things Mets, City Where HLA's Mets Media, and I'm out of here. Stay blessed. I love GM for life.